Hello everyone and welcome to the sessions, and this is a joint venture between the Cloud IT Solutions and the Share the IT Academy. So today we will discuss about not the AWS course detail which we will launching soon. Also we will discuss about what is AWS, what is cloud computing, about the certification roadmap and the instructor profile who will conduct this course. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, so jump on the so today our agenda is about the AWS, what is AWS, about the Shardil IT Academy and the instructor, about the certification roadmap, from where should you start the first Amazon certification, which Amazon certification is right for you, and then last but not the least we will discuss about the AWS 3 in 1 course which we will create for you, right? So let's get started. So before jump into the AWS cloud, first we need to understand about the cloud computing basics. So cloud computing, as I said, is a on-demand delivery of compute power, database storage, application and other IT resources through a cloud services platform via the internet with pay as you go pricing. Cloud is basically the combination of four things. Number one, compute. Number two, databases. Number three, network. Number four, storage. These four components make a proper cloud, right? So all of the service which the cloud provider host and provide to customers on the basis of these four services. So when we talk about the Amazon cloud is a public hosted cloud. Amazon is a company, normally most of you guys uh, buy anything from the Amazon.com site. So Amazon AWS is basically a sister company of the Amazon.com, and basically it provide more than 100 services in multiple geographic regions. Like if you are exist in US side, you can buy the Amazon service in per hour or per minute basis or per second basis also. In the US regions like Ohio, North California, even if you live in the Asia or Europe side, you can use the Amazon service in the London side or uh, the Tokyo side and the Australia side and India side also, right? So this is the very basic about the Amazon cloud, and then we jump into the about the Shardil IT Academy and instructor profile. Okay. So let's discuss about the instructor profile. I'm your instructor, right? And I will be your instructor not for this session but throughout the course if you join me, right, in future. So my name is Muhammad Usman Khan. I am the 5x AWS certified, and I am teaching not on-site students but also the student across the world. So my students are exist in the Qatar, Yemen, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand and Middle East side like Dubai and the UAE region, right? So uh, okay, so I am not AWS certified but I am also a CH certified, the Microsoft certified trainer, ITIL V3 certified and much more. Like I did my engineering back 2012 in telecommunication, and then I completed these certifications. So I am working with one of the reputed company as a Amazon trainer and a DevOps consultant. Also, I am a founder of the Sherdil IT Academy. Like I said, we provide and conduct training not in Pakistan, not in Qatar, but across the world, right? So okay, let's move towards the another agenda about the AWS certification roadmap. So let's discuss about the certification roadmap. Okay guys, so let's have a look on the Amazon certification. How many certification does Amazon provide in order to pass the associate level exam and the professional level exam? So let's get started. AWS provide a total number of 9 AWS certification based on 3 categories and 3 levels. Like if you are new in AWS, you can start either from the foundation level, associate level, or any professional level. Approximate 7 to 8 days before, I think the 11th October 2018, AWS changed the examination policy. Before 11th October, the student need to pass any associate exam in the specific criteria like architect, developer, or operation in order to pass the professional exam. But after 11th of October 2018, student and member can take the professional exam without attempt the associate level exam, right? So if you are new in AWS and your background is from technical sales, technical marketing, business analyst, CTO, COO, directors, project managers, means if you are not involved directly into the operation side, I think the cloud practitioner certification is best for you, right? And as you are looking at my screen, these are not the 4 AWS certification. This is actually the 1 AWS certification, but it exists in all 3 domains. Like if you start pursuing the architect category, if you are start pursuing developer or operation category, any category can start from the practitioner exam, but it's an optional, not a recommend. Okay, this certification, like I said, is only for those who are not directly involved in the operation side and has a background with the project managers, directors, and CTO, COO, and technical sales, etc. Now come into the associate level, architect associate level exam. If you want to start AWS certified solution architect associate, this exam is very in high demand in across the world. Anyone who start career in the AWS, you should start from the AWS solution architect associate. AWS solution architect is for those who normally work in the designing, high availability, redundancy, and the infrastructure area, right? Like if you involve yourself for the customer designing, like migration strategies, DR recovery, business continuity, high availability, redundancy area, so I think this certification is good for you for designing side. And then if we move into the developer associate certification, developer associate certification is for those whose background is from development side. This certification will not teach you how to develop the application. This certification will teach you, will help you how much development side application or the programming side application are compatible on the AWS service. Like if you talk about the one of the Amazon service, Elastic Beanstalk. So Amazon will help you to understand which type of programming languages and which type of platform does Elastic Beanstalk support in the programming perspective, like Ruby, Node.js, Python, and other similar programming languages. So developer associate certification is comparatively easy than the solution architect exam, but developer certification is for those whose background is from the development side, right? And the last but not the least in the associate, the AWS certified SysOps administrator course. This is the pure operation course. If your background is from the operation infrastructure, like deployment, pure deployments and the infrastructure implementation, I think SysOps administrator is good for you. And one more thing that I want to tell you, AWS certified solution architect associate, AWS certified developer, and AWS certified SysOps administrator, these all three certifications, exam content and the course content are 70 to 75% are same. That's why we created a course called AWS 3-in-1 course, right? Because this certification, these all three certification have the 7 to 75% services are same. So once you complete the exam and you want to pursue professional, you can from the associate level, or you can directly jump into the professional level exam. Professional level exam required at least 1 to 2 year hands-on experience, plus you should have a good and depth understanding of each Amazon services for professional developer, DevOps and the solution architect. Like if you are coming from the developer associate exam or the SysOps exam, you just need to pass the DevOps exam in this domain. So developer and SysOps administrator certification for professional are the same like DevOps. But if you are coming from the AWS certified solution architect associate, there is only one certification called AWS certified solution architect professional, right? But after the 11th of October, AWS allow to everyone can just go and attempt the exam professional directly without passing the associate exam. But it will impact your career because professional exam is not an easy. Like I said, it's the best recommend to pass the associate exam first and then jump into the professional exam. And then AWS provide also a 3 specialty exam. Before the 11th October, anyone who want to attempt the AWS specialty exam, he need to pass associate level exam, any one of the associate exam first. But after 11th of October, exam policy has changed and anyone can directly attempt the specialty exam without passing the associate level exam. So if you are going to attempt associate level exam, you should know that exam time is 90 minutes and you will have 130 minutes, and you will have 65 questions to complete, and the exam price is 150 for all associate. Like professional, associate level has the less time and the less question. And then if you are going to attempt the professional exam time is 170 minutes. You will have 70 questions to complete in 170 minutes, and the exam time is approximate 3 hours to complete, right? 3 hours or less than 3 hours approximate. So yes, and the professional AWS certified practitioner exam, you will have 90 minutes and 65 questions to complete. So I think that's enough for the certification roadmap. If you have any query, feel free to ask me. Let's jump into the AWS 3-in-1 course outline. Okay, so in this course we will cover these topics. So what we did, we actually merged the all 3 associate exam training under one course. So you will save your money, you will save your time, you will save your effort. Like I said, the 70 to 75% course outline are same. So if you uh, learn only solution architect from us, and then you come again for the sysop, and then you come again for the developer, this will incur not only your money but also your time and effort. So we save your time, we save your money, and we save your effort. Like, okay, so we normally start from the course and exam introduction, then service detail overview, then shared responsibility model, global and other items, and then we jump into our first practical hands-on topic called the virtual private cloud, in which where we teach by hands-on how you can create your virtual private cloud, routing, subnets, NAT gateways, instance, and other items. This is the very primary topic you need to understand first in order to use any other AWS services. If you will confuse in this topic, you will not get any other topic properly, right? And then we jump into the IAM, the authentication and authorization topic, right? And then we move into the log IAM with CloudTrail and other items. Like if you want to make your users in the authorize in a specific service, you need to use IAM users, right? Okay, then we will move to the S3 essential and components. S3 is actually a global object bucket, object based storage. So we will teach how you can make your S3 bucket practically, how you can put and get object, how you can make a permission, and last but not the least, how you can host your own website or your customer website without creating any sort of server. You just put in the host website in your S3. Okay, then we will move towards the AWS EC2 essential and components. Why? This is the second main topic after VPC. This will help you to understand how you can create your elastic compute over AWS service, along with the encryptions, EBS volumes, how you can launch your EC2, how you can create and public and private and elastic IPs, create key pairs, and all the relevant components that is a part of the EC2 topic. We will not teach only theoretical point of view, but you will get hands-on on the AWS by yourself. We will give you AWS account, so don't worry, right? And then we will move towards the RDS side. ELB and auto scaling. No, sorry, this one. The RDS side is a relational database. If you want to deploy your own database, like if you are using MySQL, MariaDB, or MS SQL, or the Oracle SQL, so you will have two options to deploy over the AWS. Once, create a machine on the EC2 and launch your own database, which will manage by yourself. Second is the easiest option, and you can use the relational database that is totally managed by AWS. You just need to create the user, the database name and other parameters. Rest the thing will AWS manage itself. Then we will discuss with hands-on lab about the DynamoDB. It's a NoSQL database in AWS. Then Trusted Advisor, which will help you to find out about your loopholes related to the security point of view, about your cost that is not using on the specific Amazon service, so that you can save your cost if you are not using like the specific EC2 machine or databases in idle state. So you can, Amazon will advise you, you can remove that specific service in order to save your money, right? And then we will move towards Amazon CloudFront Essential. It's just like a CDN that will help you to remove the latency issues from the customer perspective, right? Then we will see with the help of lab how we can serve users website or user data using CloudFront in order to remove latencies issues. Then we will discuss about Route 53 and DNS issues and route policies, like you used the AWS zones and sorry, you use the GoDaddy and the Namecheap for the domain hosting. You can use the Route 53 for the all such type of workloads like creating a records, MX record, and routing policies, etc. Then we will move towards the SQS sites. Is a decoupling service. It's a simple workflow. It's a task based oriented service. Elastic Beanstalk. This service will help you to deploy the specific application build packs without deploying manually over the EC2 machine, computation, and other manual interruption. So it's a free service. CloudFormation basically it's an infrastructure as code, what you normally use to create the VPC and the EC2 with the help of GUI by clicking the console button, right? With the help of CloudFormation, what you do normally, you write a code in the JSON language and you just push the code in the form of AWS stack, and AWS create all of the resources on the behalf of you. And once you delete the stack and the one click, all of the relevant resource that you were created with this stack CloudFormation, it will delete. So it's technically called the ISE or infrastructure as code that help you to deploy the whole Amazon infrastructure using single JSON code. And then we will move towards the AWS CLI, how you can install, download the Amazon CLI and create the virtual private cloud using AWS CLI. So in this course we will discuss the Amazon virtual private cloud in 4 different ways, like hands-on lab, right? First, with the help of GUI console. Second, you will create the virtual private cloud using Amazon CLI. Third, you will create the AWS VPC using dashboard. And the last one, we will give you the JSON based code. You don't need to write, because I know most of you guys are unfamiliar with the programming language, so you don't worry. We have already written a code, so that we will give you the code, and what you will need to do, you just need to run this code in front of me, like you will share your screen and I will share your screen, and will guide you step by step how can you deploy your code in order to provision your virtual private cloud. So things is not a difficult, it's very easy, but you need to spend time in order to read this, in order to understand this, in order to make a practice like twice or thrice until these things are easy for you, right? Then we will move towards the CloudWatch side. CloudWatch is actually the alarm, help you to make a alarm and the monitoring state, like if CPU goes high, if memory goes high, it will help you to identify by sending a alarm on your mobile phone or via your on your email address. So which one is easy for you and which one is beneficial for you, you can deploy it. And then last we will discuss about 2 parts. This is a theory topic, the storage gateway and Kinesis, and the disaster recovery and business continuity for the AWS services. For the exam point of view, especially the AWS solution architect exam, we will discuss about these white papers. These are free of cost and you can just go and download from the AWS site. You just need to go through all of these white papers, but these white papers will be easy and will be understandable for you once you complete this training, right? So we will try our best to make you 70 to 80% hands-on lab, not just theory. Also we will give you the Amazon slide which will be created by us. These slides are based on approximate 28 presentation and up to 600 slides. It's a detailed topic, right? So like I said, it's an easy, but you need to spend a lot of time in order to understand, in order to read and the other items. Also, we will try our best to give provide you the mock exam which you will complete and uh, send it to us, so that we could evaluate about your performance, right? So I think this all about the exam discussion, course discussion. So I think this enough from my side. Anything you would like to ask me? uh, okay, if you have any issue, you can contact me and Rafi also for about this course, about this training. So I think you can contact on these numbers, right? So I think I've completed my part. If you have any query, feel free to ask me. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching this.